locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Ooh, ah.
Sound like you hurt yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Did you hurt yourself?
That's that no good punk Roman Reigns right there.
Oh, boy.
That's what
for
he
a guy
does.
who allegedly hates Roman Reigns so much, you certainly do his impression quite a bit. I've been keeping track all the years we've been doing this show. You've done his impression more than anybody else.
I don't know what you're talking about right there.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about facts, my friend.
Yeah,
facts
I
and numbers,
don't
and
know
that
about
matters
that.
in this world.
I don't know what you're talking about right there. Just for the record, Roman Reigns is a punk, and I think he's going to be in a lot of big trouble, and we're going to find out why real soon, my friend.
Wow.
Real soon. This is the show where the Duke starts to pull his Robert Mueller, and I'm telling you right now, we're going to lay some stuff down, Jack.
Can I just say, and you got to, there's a lot of people in this country, just a quick aside, there's a lot of people in this country right now who are standing on the edge of the building going, please, someone talk me down. We're waiting for Robert Mueller, talk us down. And so there's some interesting stuff happening.
Sure.
So right now, you, talk me down. Are we still on, are we heading to something real here?
I think we're heading to something real.
All right. That's all I need
Just
to
so
know.
you know.
Just keep me on the ledge.
Just so
That's
you
all I'm
know.
asking
Just so you're paying attention here. But hey, listen, welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin. I am the Duke. And yes, I do enjoy doing Roman Reigns impersonations, especially on the same episode when I'm going to drop some bombshell news.
What are you doing? Are you on Snapchat over there? What are you doing?
I'm doing everything. Listen.
You're doing too much.
I keep telling you, folks.
And I keep telling you that this is the time to do the show.
Well, when I'm doing the show, I got to look for breaking news.
Oh.
It keeps coming.
What are you, Edward R. Murrow?
I am.
Just do the show.
Like Stephen A. Smith, when he does his show.
Yeah.
First
That's
take.
exactly what you are. Compare yourself to him.
He has the phone with him, and he just keeps scrolling and responding and doing things. That's what I like to do things.
That's a show about someone who's addicted to technology.
Whatever.
That's not about breaking news.
I do things, all right? Now, folks, as you know, Duke Loves Rasslin is the show where we cover all things pro wrestling and everything else. And I say we because I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, the Boston bad boy, I am Mike Pelosi.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'd be better if we could get this show going.
Listen, I want to know something here. Here at the secret
snap
location,
face.
I walked in here and I was feeling perfect.
Yeah.
And now my nose gets stuff in it. I don't know what the hell's going on. Did you not tell the guy to clean the vents?
Well, I knew that you were thinking about going out of town.
Yeah.
And I loaded the flu virus in here.
Oh, great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy your
He
little
said
time
you're welcome
away.
before I could even say thank you.
You're
Hear that,
welcome.
folks?
See?
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
why? Because I'm polite.
Yeah.
And I just like to do the right thing.
You're a problem. That's what you are. What are the top stories in the world of professional wrestling?
Don't care.
We're going to find out during Run the Ropes.
Okay.
The Basketball Hall of Famer, okay? The celebrated journalist, the guy that stirs the pot. We're talking about Peter Vecsey.
Oh, Mike. How did you get him to come back on this show?
We just had the All-Star break in the NBA. It's like the midpoint of the season.
But he hates you.
Well, Peter said the last time that he would come back during the midpoint and we can ask him some questions about what's been happening during the season.
I would say keep it quick because he hates you.
Well, that's okay.
And
I love him.
And that's why I like him.
Yeah.
Because he hates you almost as much as I do.
Peter Vecsey can't get rid of me, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care what he says.
And
I'm
you know
not
what?
going
That's
anywhere.
why me and Peter Vecsey are kindred spirits. Neither of us can get rid of you.
Well, all that plus we have some of your listener-submitted questions, a.k.a. Ask Duke. But before we get to any of that, Boston Bad Boy.
Yep.
Black Panther.
Yes, sir.
It opened to record numbers.
Huge.
We've been covering this thing all along.
Yes.
And yet you have so many people out there looking for something to complain about.
You know, I thought I would see a lot more of it than I have, and you know some of the characters that like to interact on my Facebook page.
Sure.
And surprisingly, I have seen very few people picking things apart. I mean, there's the sort of the memes and the things that have gone viral of the ridiculous things people have said.
Mm-hmm.
But on a ground level, I think some people probably just don't, not into superhero movies, or they don't have much to say. You may have seen different. I don't know.
Well, my problem is, and I bring this up because it ties into wrestling fans. They will create a problem even if there isn't one.
Oh, no, it's the classic straw man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
there was that snide little, what's that guy's name? I don't even want to use his name. He's some right-wing commentator, And he's smarmy. He thinks he knows everything. And he did this whole bit about how, suddenly the Black Panther is a call to arms for black people, for them to look up to, and this and that. And why weren't all these other black, prominent black folks, throughout history, why aren't they suddenly the ones to look up to? And it's like, can't they all be something to look up to? I mean, it's just like, again, creating a problem where none exists.
Where none exists.
Just so that someone can get paid because they get paid by the word.
That's it. Well, I will say that everyone that I've spoken to and what have you loved Black Panther, especially the kids.
Absolutely.
People are going back to see it over and over again because it is school vacation week, at least here on the East Coast there. So, look, folks, whether it's pro wrestling, movies, whatever, just have a good time. It doesn't always have to be a problem.
And
okay?
I gotta say, I wore the dashiki when I went, and I've seen the movie twice.
Yes, well,
and
doesn't surprise me.
I felt nothing but community and good vibes.
Well, I mean,
and my campaign to be the next Black Panther is going along great. I've getting a lot of support online. It's a groundswell.
I'm getting a little sick of the fact that people are actually entertaining your nonsense as it relates to that.
Listen, there are a lot of folks
who
are behind the idea, and they love the idea. And you know what it's about? Unity.
Okay.
And so that's what this is all about.
All right. Well, with that said, run the ropes. It's time to run the ropes. It's when I educate that knucklehead Boston bad boy on the top stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go.
What if I get the Unity ring like Rick James had? Would that help my case to be the next Black Panther?
I would help your case to be the next nut job. That's about it there. I don't know.
Wise guy.
Yeah.
Get on with this, will you?
WWE planning on holding a 100,000 seat event.
What?
Are you kidding me? Huh?
Where? At Daytona?
We're going to find out, brother. They're looking for a place right now, and they want to do it this year.
How big is a wrestling ring? Do you know this? Do you know the?
I don't know. What the hell
is
do
it?
I know?
20 feet by 20 feet,
yeah,
maybe
something
like that. 30 feet. Let's say it's 40 feet by 40 feet. What it matters is how the hell is someone going to see it from 2 miles away?
They've broken records already. I think like 91,000 or something like that.
Listen, a soccer field, and people split soccer, they call football.
Yeah.
In other parts of the world. It's big.
He's worldwide.
But
folks.
even that, I'm heading to Wakanda.
Yeah.
Even that in a giant stadium is hard to watch because they look like little ants running around. Never mind wrestling, which again is very much the lights, the costumes, the gimmicks. What? You might as well sit home and watch it on TV.
You know what my problem is with you? You don't pay attention to what wrestling looks like live. It doesn't matter where you are. There's not a bad seat in the house. The way that, because they elevate the stage. They bring it up a little bit.
You're talking about 100. All right. So we are in Patriots country. Gillette Stadium seats 65,000 people.
Okay.
So you want to add 40,000 more people onto that to watch a wrestling. Have you been to a concert at Gillette Stadium?
I've been everywhere.
It's like watching somebody play at the end of a tunnel. It's ridiculous.
But you got to remember, a wrestling ring, you can see it from all angles.
What I'm talking about is how small the people are.
You don't know what you're talking about. Folks, we're going to put up a poll.
Buy a flea circus if you want to do that.
Do you agree with the Duke or do you agree with the Boston bad boy? I say 100,000 people, let's do it. Wrestling ring in the middle. It'll be like the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah, it'll be like another big money grab from Vince McMahon before he gets the boot.
Would you stop? So negative. Roman Reigns.
Your favorite.
His steroid doctor, allegedly, explains how Roman got away with it. Huh. See that? So, folks, over at Wrestling Inc., and
can you back this up a little bit, please?
Uh-oh.
So, all right, you have a vendetta against Roman Reigns, so I can't trust anything you say.
I don't have a vendetta.
So for those people who have lives and are not totally wrapped up in this whole thing like you are, Roman Reigns has been accused in some official capacity of using steroids.
Well, he actually was suspended by the WWE for testing positive for steroids, which, what was that, a year ago?
Okay, so this is old news.
Well, no, that really happened, but here's the deal. There is a doctor who just got busted, and he had Roman on his stuff, and he's saying that, Roman is definitely one of my clients and continue to be one of my clients, and this is how he did it. So they would take, not just Roman, but other athletes as well. Allegedly, they would take the steroids in lower doses and then cycle off before their next round of testing by the company, which would make the company complicit in all this.
Why? How is that complicit?
Because they're letting them know when they're going to be tested again.
Oh,
It's
because
not like
they weren't blind
it's not
tested.
random like it's supposed to be, allegedly.
Well, that's the thing. I think random testing, it's all lip service. The testing, first of all, testing altogether.
Yep.
If you really want to test, it has to be a blind test.
Sure.
It has to be
I agree.
a random test.
I agree.
So if you're doing scheduled tests, it's like we all know what's going on here.
Yep.
Don't make us look bad. And your friend there apparently made them look bad, so he did get the suspension, right?
Yeah, he
Back
did.
then. So
here's what the doctor said, which I thought was really interesting. He said, it is not natural for human beings to look like some of these wrestlers look. And
Of course not.
I think that's a great point.
was it natural for Arnold Schwarzenegger to look like what he looked like?
Hell no.
Exactly.
Hell no.
No.
Kidding me? But he admitted to taking steroids, so it is what it is.
Well, but that's the thing. It's like somehow that became a standard of what people should look like.
Sure.
It's comic book heroes,
Yeah.
as we refer back to, talking about earlier.
But they were...
You can look like whatever you want.
Exactly.
But
fantasy.
And
here's the deal. Look, folks, I'm not doubting steroids per se. I think that there is a place for it. But if it's against the company policy, if it's against the rules, if you're supposed to be a role model for the kids, what are we doing in 2018?
Well,
you know better than that.
Let's put it this way. If the WWE was made up of a bunch of guys that looked like, quite frankly, you, it wouldn't really be successful.
I don't know if
who the
that's
hell
true.
would want to look at that?
I don't know if that's true. Kevin Owens, you look at some of these guys. Ric Flair was never the biggest muscly guy in the world, but he was still champ.
He was pretty muscly.
But it was natural muscle. It wasn't like he looked
well,
like...
back then, like they had pot bellies and
Exactly.
stuff. It was
Exactly.
like, old, big handlebar mustaches.
Yeah, see?
Circus strongmen is what they looked like.
When you
now,
look
listen, I'm fine going back to that. The dad bod is in.
I'm all about
as
the
we
dad
all know.
bod. Yeah.
So if they go back to that, fine, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. And they think that the muscular stuff sells, and it does.
Well, Roman, I gotcha.
Let me just remind everybody, by the way, that you're doing a whole bit of a story that's a year and a half old during the news. But go ahead. Keep
No,
going.
that's not true because what the doctor said is just happened. He
Doesn't
got
matter.
arrested and got put away now.
Doesn't matter.
All right, or whatever. WWE parts ways with Rich Swann. That's right. We're talking about the former 205 Live champion, Rich Swann. As you remember, he had a domestic incident with his wife that caused the WWE to suspend him indefinitely. Well, since then, and keep in mind, all charges were dropped against him, folks. I don't think his wife cooperated, to be honest with you. But since then, WWE just kept him on the shelf this whole time. And finally, he asked for his release, and finally they gave it to him. So we'll see what happens,
Wait a minute, I wasn't paying attention.
Rich
because I never
Swann.
did.
Remember
Rich
he had
Swann,
the domestic
I get
incident?
But right. So if nothing came of it,
Yep.
and they did the suspension or whatever, and then they sidelined him, and then he said he wanted to get out.
Yeah, because he wasn't working. He's not making any money.
I would have said wrongful suspension.
Well,
is what I
not
would have
wrongful
said.
suspension. He really did do what he was accused of doing, but they could not prosecute because she wasn't cooperating.
I see.
You know how that works.
No, I get that.
That's his wife.
All right, but here's the thing. If he was all right, so in that case, if he, hey, it's done, it is, the facts are out there. While there may not be a legal prosecution happening, the company, Mr. Zero Tolerance, shouldn't they have cut him loose a long time ago?
Yeah, I don't know why they held on to him as long as
Again,
they
you know
did.
why? Because people know things about people, and you can't kick the guy in the nuts who knows how to kick you in the nuts. And so that's what I think this is all predicated upon. This goes right up, and it's par for the course with Vince and all his alleged harassment that's happening and all the other stuff with the other wrestlers that are getting caught.
Stop it.
This is exposing a culture in this company that, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, because there's no logical reason why that guy was on the payroll for as long as he was.
Well, maybe they were negotiating the terms
Oh,
of
yeah, that's what they were
mutual
doing.
separation.
Yeah, I'm sure Vince does a lot of negotiating with his underlings.
Well,
Get
all
the hell out
I'll
of here.
say is this. Rich Swann, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I wish your wife the best in her endeavors in general. And hopefully that was just a freak mistake there. WWE to combine roster pay-per-views. That's right, folks. Listen, they've been splitting the rosters because you have SmackDown, you have Raw.
Money
They
grab.
had brand-specific pay-per-views, and I told you
Money
this was going
grab.
to happen. I told you eventually they're going to bring everybody together.
Yeah,
and
because
just
a
keep it
money
that way
there's
again.
no sustainability to a money grab, and that's what that was.
Well,
Just give
don't
the
be
people
rude.
what they want and stop trying to fleece them every chance you
but
get.
I like the fact that I could see AJ Styles and Braun Strowman, Sasha Banks, and everybody all at once.
Well,
I
there
like
wasn't this whole thing of this concept is so new and stupid. It never used to be like that.
No, they
it was
never
just,
had a split. But
it was just the
it's
roster.
like two separate companies, though. That was the point. So
Why?
everybody gets a shot. Everybody gets
Probably trying to hide their taxes somewhere or something.
Stop it right now. You got like over 5 hours of content on TV alone. You got to fill it somehow.
Yeah. How about fill it with something good? I'd rather have 2 good hours than 5 hours of crap and all this split and all these people who stink.
You know, you're very rude, and you have an attitude.
The truth hurts.
You have an attitude.
The truth hurts.
You have a bad attitude.
I'm getting ramped
this
up for Vecsey.
All right, give me a break. The number one story in the world of professional wrestling is WWE Elimination Chamber.
Oh.
All right.
Is this where you're going to correct us on the scheduling issue you had?
Okay. So
What did you say last week?
I said it was the number one story because it was.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I thought it was happening last weekend,
you thought,
folks, but it's
Spider.
actually happening this weekend.
No, you're not all right, Spider.
No,
it's
don't
happening
call me
this
Spider.
weekend. It's happening this weekend, and you got everybody screwed up because you can't keep your head together.
I went to do my big post
See
in
this
the
people?
wrestling crew, and
not
it
even
wasn't time.
not even a shred of integrity here,
Oh, my
journalistically
goodness.
from this
Give me
guy.
a break.
It's unbelievable. The fact that you're even still listening to him is something I'll never understand.
Stop it. Well, the Elimination Chamber's happening, and keep in mind, folks, we have the big match, the Women's Elimination Chamber, which is historic. It's the first one in history. Alexa Bliss is going to retain her title, though. That's right.
I don't really care. Are we done with this?
This guy. No, we're not done.
I want to have some candy. I'm
Alexa
hungry.
Bliss is going to retain her title.
All right.
I'll say it again, because she's 5 feet of fury.
Now, do you like a Crackle bar or a Nestle Crunch?
Nestle Crunch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it the Crackle on
I'm not
Halloween.
British. I don't do the Crackle. I'm not British.
Yeah, but the
Stop it.
Crackle's around a lot. People are going for the Crackle on Halloween.
I like the Nestle Crunch.
But the Nestle Crunch is
Yeah,
thinner.
Exactly.
I like a thinner crunch.
And I think it's a little sweeter, too, the chocolate.
Yeah,
Chocolate's
I
a
think
little
you're right.
Sweeter.
The Crackle can have a waxiness to it, which
Yeah.
is I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, a little different there. Folks, you've heard what I think. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk?
Yep.
Maybe something in between? Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin and let me know. I hate when you say yup. The yup business got to go.
When can
New
we get
year,
more
new
snacks
you.
in here? Like, why don't we have a...
Well, I don't give you enough?
No, I think we should have some snacks.
Yeah?
I think we should have, once a month, we should have a Popeyes fried chicken dinner.
Wow.
So that I'm starving here.
Yeah.
We're trying to do your show.
Oh.
I would like to get a little something in here. Maybe some wings.
Wow.
Maybe friend JB can send me some wings.
Oh.
That's not a subtle hint, JB.
That's not a subtle hit.
So all I'm saying is if you want quality content, you got to feed me.
You know, we got to talk to Dusty Wolf's wife, Brandy. She cooks a lot. She cooks
How does
a lot
she
of
find
food.
time when she's on
I have
Facebook all
no
the time?
clue.
I don't understand
Well, no,
that.
she's in law school, too.
Oh, I see.
And she's a mom. But she cooks a lot.
Got a lot of spare time.
That's right. Up next, the Hall of Fame journalist, Peter Vecsey.
Hey, this is Daniel Richards, the progressive liberal. I want you to remember to vote Democrat, turn this country around, continue listening to one of the best out there, the Duke Loves Rasslin Podcast.
All right, Boston Bad Boy, we have our friend, the Hall of Famer, Peter Vecsey, back on the line.
A real journalist, finally.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just jump right back into it, because I know Peter, he gets a little ornery with me at times, so I better watch what I say to this guy here. Peter,
I like what you said already.
That's it. The last time you were on the show, Peter, we talked about, I asked you, who's going to win the championship? And you said you don't like to answer that question, especially in the beginning of the season, because who knows the answer to that? Well, here we are. We just did the All-Star break. Things are starting to shape up a little bit. So who are the teams that you feel are going to make it to the end at the very least?
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm going to pick anybody to be shocked about. You know, the Warriors have the best record, you know, and the Rockets have really showed that they're for real. And when healthy, they're not as deep as the Warriors, but, you know, really playing. Got some good defensive players for a change. The East, I mean, the trade by the Cleveland Cavaliers was definitely a championship-type move. Reminded me of the Yankees, you know, when they used to, in the 50s and 60s, they would make that key move or moves at the end of a season that would really help them win a title. So you can't overlook them anymore. And, you know, everybody continues to overlook the Raptors, but they've really improved their bench. And, you know, I just don't see Lowry having the poor playoffs that he's had the last couple of years. But even if he does, I think that they can overcome that. I don't think they have to rely on just the backcourt of Lowry and DeRozan. I think that they really have some deep players, some real studs, defensive, athletic studs coming off the bench. This kid Fred Van Fleet, where did he come from? And he's better than Corey Joseph, and Corey Joseph's pretty good. So he's a top guard coming off the bench. Anyway, I like the Raptors. Now, who else we missed?
Yeah, I was going to
say Celtics.
Yeah, we are based in Boston here. How dare you not mention the Celtics?
Are they still in the league?
Oh boy! Yeah, they might have got crushed under all the championship banners that they won. So,
right, exactly. Or the numbers that they retired. I mean, do they have any numbers that aren't retired?
That's a good point. They're gonna have to make some numbers here. So, what, you don't think Kyrie Irving is going to lead the Celtics to the NBA championship there?
No, look, I admire what's going on in Boston, but it just seems that. It's hard to say. Once Smart went down, they became a different team. And who would have thought that he was so integral to everything that they do? Even when he's not, hitting an awful lot of his shots, he seems to hit the big shots. He makes the big defensive play. He's just a tough, rugged dude. And so it's hard to say. But just in looking at it, trying to project with him. I just don't think they have what it takes to win the East.
Wow, that's a hot take.
No, they look, love their coach, love the way he has them playing defense. He has, they got a bunch of smart guys playing the way he wants them to. But I just think they're a little young yet. Kyrie's Kyrie, but I think as good as Brown is and Jason is, they're just a little too young, and I think, I don't know if it was your program, but I know I was touting Rosier.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, I mean, before anybody, I'm saying I love that kid.
Mm-hmm.
And even in his spare time when he was just getting unquality minutes, there was something about him. He's so good, and just shows that you can go out there. It's like, Utah going out and getting Mitchell, on the number 13th pick. Yeah, okay. Well, why didn't the Knicks take him?
That's right.
Knicks were one short on Curry, and I still believe to this day they could have made a trade to get Curry. That's what they wanted. And now they really liked Mitchell, and they blew it. But my point is that there is so much talent out there that you go out and find it, and so that's my take. Look, it's definitely three teams. I don't see Washington or who else, the Pacers, or who am I missing that can compete with those top three teams. The Celtics have the best road record in the East, right? The Warriors have it in the West. I look at road records a lot because in the playoffs you're going to have to win the 7-game series against a real good team. You're going to have to win two on the road.
That's right. That's right.
Not one, two.
Yep. And you're not going to win two on the road. Since you keep bringing up the Warriors there, you're not going to win two on the road if you keep fighting with the refs. What the heck is going on with their technical fouls over there with the Golden State Warriors?
Well, look, it's been going on since Draymond Green learned how to speak. So, man, the guy's antagonistic. And then, Durant is that's his guy. Green recruited him more than anybody to the Warriors. So he's gotten caught up in it. But I always love Durant because he always apologizes, for acting like a fool.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite. I don't know him at all, but I really appreciate him. Yeah, they're caught up in it. They might be tired, so they run their mouths instead.
That's funny. What did you think about that move that Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, did, where he said, "Hey, they're sick of hearing my voice," so he allows the players to coach the game. What did you think about that there?
If you think I'm going to say something negative, you're wrong. Coaches who come up with unique ways to communicate with their team are smart. They've got to try stuff to get their attention. And Steve is a smart guy, funny guy. So he came up with something novel, and yeah, it worked.
It worked.
He did it against a bad team.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do it on a regular basis, or even on an irregular basis, or against a team that's really in their on their caliber. But I liked it. Yeah, I mean next I think they ought to let the players call their own fouls.
We're talking to the Hall of Fame journalist here, Peter Vecsey. Peter, there's been a lot of controversy in every form of media. They picked this up here. Talking head Laura Ingram, she made a statement that LeBron James should shut up and dribble in reference to LeBron expressing his views on social justice issues and politics and what have you. You're a guy who's been covering basketball, Jesus, longer than the Boston Bad Boy and I have been alive. So you've been there and done that, and you're not just a basketball fan. You know sports in general there. What's your take on this?
Plus, I listened to Laura Ingram.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you really have a take on this.
I know who she is, and I listen to her, and she's got a lot of wild stuff to say. She's got a lot of stuff that makes sense, but this did not make sense. But for anybody to suggest that it's racist, she made racist comments, or she's a racist, and she explained this later on. But I knew it right away that she had written a book, about the Dixie Cups. Shut Up and
Chicks,
Sing.
Dixie Chips,
Dixie Chicks. Dixie Cups. I call. But yeah,
close enough.
Shut up and sing. And so she's done that a lot. But I wish my wife, when we heard her say that, we were listening, and my wife was saying, it's a shame she didn't have you on, because you could have given a perspective that she's really not understanding here. And we in the media and smarter people than me would get upset at Michael Jordan for not being political, for not taking a stance. And and here's LeBron willing to take it. And that, fine. I don't agree with a lot LeBron is saying. And I am not a Trump person, even though we grew up 10 blocks away from each other.
Sorry to hear it.
Yeah, well, there went the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I think LeBron makes a real big mistake when he curses about the president. That, come on. If you're going to do something, if you're going to say it intelligently. Don't start resorting to curse words or even Jameel Hill calling him a racist and so on. Really, come on, man. I think she's a racist. Truthfully,
whoa.
So what? But so what? No, I think she's I think she. But so what?
You took a lot of heat for saying that on Twitter. Now that you bring that up, you and Jamel Hill had a little exchange about a month and a half ago.
I didn't have an exchange with her. She had something to say about me, and I said, I'm not listening to this woman. What does she mean? She doesn't mean anything to me. So don't come on my iCloud. Get on me. Get off my cloud. And so I don't like anything basically she says, but she doesn't say it the right way either. Calling the president, he is the president, for crying out loud. I don't like him. I didn't vote for him, but he is the president. Let's respect the office, even if he disrespects it, often.
So the perspective about athletes shutting up and just doing their job, no matter what sport they're in. Which way? So do we want them to stand up, or do we not want them to stand up and talk?
Of course we do. Of course we do. Look, I was around when when 68 Olympics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when that was going on. One of the guys was from my neighborhood. He didn't get much publicity. I'm not going to be able to remember his name, but he's from Queens. He's on the relay team. He had his medal stripped too. But Carlos and Tommy, they took the heat for that. And again, I think they did it the wrong way. Making the Black Power salute, the national anthem. I didn't agree with that. But there's a time and a place to say stuff. Now they felt that was a damn good time because they were in the spotlight. So, and they paid a price for it. But I was in the Army from 65 to 67. I was airborne, and I was a Green Beret, and I totally went with Ali when he decided to say that he was a conscientious objector. I was not against him at all, and we had many arguments in the barracks about that, and because I thought he was willing to give up his crown, He was against the war, as was my mother, and my brother, who became a conscientious objector also. So I had it from both sides. My father's a Hawk. I'm in the Green Berets. But I respected Ali. I definitely, in fact, even in his dying days, I would go out to his charity out in Arizona when they were raising money, and I loved being around him. But another point though is, I really don't like it when Popovich, after a game, before a game, spews his political crap.
So we're talking about the San Antonio Spurs head coach, Greg Popovich.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it. I came here to interview you if I'm a writer. I really don't want to say. You want to do it, on your time somewhere. But this, we're here to cover a game. I really don't care what you have to say, Pop. Really don't. Not about that. If you want to say it somewhere else. But that's my point. That's what I feel. I don't want to hear Steve Kerr say it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear LeBron say it during a game, after a game. There are plenty of times to say it, and you've got the voice to say it. But you're turning people off, to me, by doing it at a game.
I guess that kind of speaks to everybody deals in their own currency. Like, in other words, you said Ali, willing to give up his crown for what he stood for. It's almost, to me, it seems like these guys who are out in the NBA, they're willing to say, I'm gonna take heat for this, but I'm gonna use my time on television to do this or to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay,
and
but what are they giving up?
Well, they could give up a lot. Kaepernick had to give up a lot for what he did. Ali gave up a lot for what he. I'm just talking.
Don't talk about Ali and Kaepernick. We're on Popovich now. What is he giving up?
I'm not saying specifically him.
Any money? Is he losing any money? Is Kerr losing any money?
Could they?
Are they losing a title?
Could they? Could they lose it if they went too far? Could some kind of controversy around what they said cost them a job?
No. But let's take it the other way. I know what would cost people jobs. I guarantee it. What if some head coach or some big time player starts talking about how much he loves Trump at a game? Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa!
So,
now we got problems.
Now
you're gonna have people attacking him. His own. It's like, come on, man.
You feel there's a double standard out there, Peter, in relation to that?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I guess not Popovich exactly, but like guys like LeBron, for instance, talking about social justice issues, which are real. It's not a matter of political one way or the other. So if it comes to LeBron talking about social injustices, and another player went out there talking about how great Trump is on these things when he's not, well, one is correct and one isn't correct.
Says you. Says you. Well, but there are obviously a few million people that disagree with you.
Well,
so,
3 million more actually did agree,
it
but
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's the president. Like you're saying, everyone was agreeing. Everyone does the mambo. No.
Well, what I'm saying is everyone puts up for risk what they have to say what they want to say. In other words, because
I don't see the risk. Where's the risk of Popovich saying this before?
Well, you keep using him as the example. I'm talking about these players and these people in the media. And there have been plenty who have gone.
Peter risks every time he sends out a tweet. He's putting up a big risk because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people who got a problem with you, Peter. They want to shut you down.
They can't. Yeah, quit my job. You ought to be fired from your job. Oh, really?
I wish someone would fire me from this job. Explain to me how to do it.
You're here for life. No. Sorry.
No, you know what I get upset about Popovich too. I know he does some great things. I know some things that maybe I'll talk about, maybe I won't. But really, really good things he does for people. But then he goes on television and he can't be civil to a media guy doing his work. Where Popovich,
that's different.
Is getting What?
I'm saying that's different. No, I'm saying if you, that's what the guy's saying.
Why do you interrupt? Why do you interrupt?
Well, I was agreeing with you.
No, I haven't even gotten there yet. So he's getting paid by television. That's why players are making all the money they're making. Coaches are making all the money. It's not because they sell out. It's because of television and endorsements and stuff for the players. But so here he is. He can't come on for a minute, a half a minute, answer two simple questions civilly, unless the guy's dying of cancer. Then he'll be nice to the guy, you know. So he's condescending, he's intimidating, he's a bully, and I've called him out on that to his face. So, you know, I have no use for people like that. Can't you treat people nicely, all people nicely? You're just going to pick your spots where you. I mean, he has such scorn for the media, and it really pisses me off.
And you know, it's funny too because we hear the same criticism, really similar criticism of Bill Belichick. He won't answer a question straight. There's always just, well, we're moving on to the next one. That's his answer. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you know, if I covered Belichick, I'd have a field day with him then. But you know, great coach, I assume. You know, I'm not a football guy, but I certainly follow him peripherally, and seems to know what he's doing. But on the other hand, he seems to bring in guys to that franchise that are thugs and you know, and gangsters and killers. You know, he didn't seem to have any problem with that. So I don't know. But he benched the guy, I heard, for, you know, I was told, you know, against the guy in the Super Bowl for what? What did he do?
We're still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But he didn't kill anybody, did he?
Not yet. Not that we know of.
No, but I'm saying, like, but he had a killer on his team. He just gave him a huge contract. I mean, come on.
I love it. Peter, with all these hot takes that you have, because you've given us plenty here, how can fans reach out to you and if they want to get some more information just about whatever it is going on in that brain of yours? Because you don't just talk about basketball. I follow your Twitter feed, and you talk about just about everything, anything and everything.
Yeah, I mean, how can they reach me? They can't. They have to have a show like yours, and I have to be agreeable to doing it. I do yours because you've been, you know, really kind to me, but I don't. I've been turning down an awful lot lately. You know, I do them for, you know, people for different reasons, but turning down a lot lately. I'm getting to the end. You know, I was retired for 5 years, came back this year. I want to retire again and move to Arizona.
Oof, you in that Arizona, you can't get away from that place, huh?
No, I can't. I actually think about it every day.
Wow. Well, before we let you
There's
go,
a lot less grass to mow in Arizona. That's
I
what
know,
I've heard.
seriously, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Let's get rid of the farm.
Now you found out the real reason.
Yeah, I'm going to tell your wife when you keep this up. Before we let you go, Peter,
like she doesn't know.
I know. Like she doesn't live with you. How are the kids doing, Peter?
The kids are doing great. My daughter is, you know, she's a writer out here in Long Island. She's doing great. In fact, she just asked me yesterday if I can get her into our key place in Arizona for a week. She and her husband.
You'd be running a timeshare out there before you know it.
Look at him. He's got his next move.
Look, I went out there in 70. Well, I went out there in 69, but I started traveling with the Knicks in 73 out there, and I said, man, I love this place. And here I am. It's, you know, I could have gotten God knows what. My son, he's doing fabulously. He just toured with Adam Sandler and David Spade for 6 cities.
Wow.
And opened for them, and you know, he was in not in Boston. They've done movies in Boston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know, he went to Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, Vegas, Phoenix. Oh my God!
And he's hilarious too. Shout out to Joseph Vecsey. That's a good guy right there. Peter's son. He's more famous than Peter is, folks. So that's the man.
When are we getting him on the show then?
I know that's what I'm trying to be nice to Peter so I can get Joe on the show. That's the point there.
Yeah. No. That's
Well, his name is Peter Vecsey. He is the Hall of Fame journalist, folks. You can find him at patreon.com/Peter Vecsey. Peter, we're going to have you come back during playoff season. You ready for that?
I've put plenty of time to change my number. Right?
Wow, you and Peter Vecsey were butting heads.
You know what,
today,
Vecsey?
huh?
No, don't do us any favors by changing your number there.
Stop it right now. You know, he usually gives me a hard time. I'm glad he gave you a hard time.
You know, for a guy that has nothing to do but ride his lawnmower around, he's pretty cranky.
Well, that's what I love about him.
Yeah, well. You don't like me when I'm cranky.
No, I don't. But you're not.
You always give me lip.
You become a Hall of Famer, and then I'll like you. How about that?
How do you know?
Huh?
I might be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. You can just be anything. Just to get on somebody's good side.
Give me a break. I'll say this about Peter Vecsey. Anytime I reach out to that man, he responds.
Yeah, because he's bored.
But he wants me off of his bandwagon.
Well, he's complicated.
He's complicated. See, he's shaft.
See what happens
Peter
when
Vecsey's shaft.
Well, I don't know about that, but what happens when he moves out to Arizona?
He's not going to know what to do.
The sun's going to bake him a little bit. You know what I mean? His brain, and then he's going to be, then try and get in touch with him. The time difference, he'll be all over the place.
Only on the Duke Loves Rasslin Podcast, folks, which is a pro wrestling podcast, can you hear a Hall of Fame basketball journalist talk about Trump, Jamel Hill, and riding his lawnmower and moving to Arizona.
And by the way, when everybody tweets at Vecsey for the ridiculous things he was saying, please make sure to mention that you heard them on this show.
That's right.
We could use the
we
boost.
appreciate the plug.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter there. Especially Jamel Hill.
Yeah. Don't come after us.
Come on the show if you want to respond.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Well, I like Peter, though. Peter's funny.
We could have them both on the show.
As he was saying, I don't agree with everything Peter says, but I do respect the fact that Peter just does not give a damn. He's going to say
you have to get to a certain point in life. It's like Quincy Jones. Yes. We've talked about the interview. There's a man who says, you know what? All the people I'm talking about are dead, so they can't say anything.
Yep.
And I don't give a rat's ass anymore.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
What do they say? What about one of your recordings that wasn't good? Which one?
Yeah.
They all were great.
Yeah. No. What was something you did that was groundbreaking? And he said all of it.
All of it. That's it.
One sentence. All of it.
I need to be more like Quincy Jones.
You have such a long way to go. I am closer to being Quincy Jones than you are.
I don't
by
know
a
about
long measure, my friend.
You're too tall to be Quincy Jones. Just remember that.
Yeah, but I've got the production experience.
Oh, here we go.
I've got the success.
Yeah, but you don't have the money.
I've got the panache.
There's no panache in you.
Although I would never, ever, ever date one of Trump's children like he did.
He dated the right one, though.
That's true, but still, can you imagine?
Yes.
Although, all right, take it easy.
Up next.
Steaming under the collar over there.
Hopefully, the Boston bad boy comes up with something a little more interesting than talking about Quincy Jones dating one of Trump's daughters.
Well, it'll be better than Vecsey.
Hey, this is the Duke of Dorchester. The one, the only, the man of the hour. Yeah, can you handle that, baby? I want to tell you this. You've been listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
All right, Boston bad boy. It's funny. You brought up the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Because I know that you've seen the mailbox.
It's one of many Hall of Fames I will be in. Just you wait.
Give me a break. Well, in our inbox here, folks, which is just amazing, all you are talking about is the WWE Hall of Fame, the announcement that Double J, Jeff Jarrett, is going to be inducted this year. And, hey, a lot of folks are not happy about that. They're confused.
Why?
Because
why is this happening?
Yeah, why? Everyone wants to know why. So rather than me run my mouth all day long.
Too late. You've already been doing it.
I figured I'd reach out to somebody who actually knows Double J very well, a close personal friend of his. So without further ado, Hitman Scott McKenzie, a.k.a. Lenny.
Well, I've been reading basically what you have, and my big question is just what is the potential to be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, it's just what anybody thinks is what it is. I mean, I think Jeff, he deserves it.
Well, so why do you think he deserves it, Lenny? Because here's the thing. Most fans, if they're old enough, they remember Double J, Jeff Jarrett. They know him more for Global Force Wrestling and TNA, being one of the founders of TNA. Most folks aren't even old enough to remember his Memphis days and what have you there. But why do you feel that Double J, Jeff Jarrett, deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Well, think of all the people that is up there now that went through. He deserves it a lot more than Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk Man, you can send all of your hate mail to Lenny here, a.k.a. Hitman Scott McKenzie. Jeez.
That's a hot take, I think.
That is a hot take.
Absolutely.
Well, Lenny's a big guy. I bet he could take the Honky Tonk Man even today.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's hope Lenny has enough chicken soup and recovers from his
That's a good point. That's or bourbon, whatever.
Whatever it
done.
takes.
That's right. All right, Boston Bad Boy. So,
you keep sliding this piece of paper over here with questions on it.
I want you to read the next question.
I thought we had officially banished questions from your minions on this show.
What is your problem today? You didn't put any dippity-doo in your hair, so you got these cowlicks all over the place. I don't know what's going on.
I have hair.
That's why I don't want to look at you.
Let's just start with I have hair.
I have
so
a
don't
beard.
you question. Yeah, it's in the wrong place.
Right. Yeah, well, hey, it is what it is.
All right. I'll humor you.
Good.
I'm going to go, but it's going to be a very short leash.
Our listeners, come on. Be respectful of them.
The first question is from, I'm not reading this name.
What?
Slapnuts 2000.
Okay, that's his man's name. What do you want him to do?
That's the man's name.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody's mama gave him the name Slapnuts 2000. I'm going to tell you that right now.
If the fans want to give themselves crazy nicknames, what am I supposed to do about that?
Tell them to get a life. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put a firm hand down.
Stop it.
Anyway, this nincompoop asks, Duke, what are your thoughts on Kenny Omega reuniting with Kota Ibushi?
Whatever. I mean, Kenny has been getting all these cheers from the fans, so he's a baby face. We need Kenny and Cody Rhodes to have their feud with each other, so I understand that you had to take Kenny out of the Bullet Club potentially. Looks like that's actually complete now. I'm okay with it. I'm not really the biggest Kenny Omega guy. I understand that there's some appeal. I don't really care about him that much. I love Ibushi. Ibushi's my guy. So that's it. Great. You want to put them together? Hopefully they'll feud in the end. Hopefully Ibushi joins the Bullet Club by turning on Kenny Omega.
Boy.
That's it.
You're really passionate for a guy talking about nonsense.
Give me a break.
All right, the next question is from me, you, your mama, and your cousin, too. Wow.
That's a lyric from an Outkast song.
Really?
Look at that, huh?
Look at you and your musical knowledge.
That's pretty good.
Well, the whole gang has a question
They must be from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, they must be.
Wow.
Who's going to induct Ivory in the WWE Hall of Fame? Another Hall of Fame question.
Yep, shout out to Ivory. She's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I think she was Tina Ferrari back in the Glow days, too. So she's pretty awesome. Who's going to induct Ivory? My prediction,
which will be wrong,
Jonathan Coachman, a.k.a. the Coach. They are very good friends. I think they might have done some production-style stuff together as well. So I think Coach will probably be the one to do it. It should be one of the women, by the way, who have been inspired by Ivory.
Well, they're not smart enough to do something like that.
Well, you never know. But if not one of them, then it'll probably be Coach.
Wow, that's very...
I like the names this week. This is pretty good.
Yeah, really? So the next question is from a guy named Tony.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Rasslin.
I can't believe you just did that.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Hall of Famer Peter Vecsey. Thanks for joining us this week. Lenny Gross, a.k.a. Hitman Scott McKenzie. Thanks for joining us. Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin. Let us know what you think. YouTube for our previous episodes. Let me get out of here because the Boston Bad Boy, he is cranky.
No, you need to get out of here because
don't be
just
rude.
enough with these people.
Why did
today.
you go
I
with
just can't
Tony?
take
You
it.
should have run another question.